Well, I'm hoping this video will help you install a fire suppression system in a race car. It's really not that hard to do. It's pretty easy, but I had to upgrade mine. The bottle on the right there is a steel bottle that's 10 years old. It went out of date this year, so they can't recertify it with a 10-year-old bottle. So the bottle's actually, we're probably going to put that in my son's car when he's doing track days. So he has a fire suppression system because it still works. It's just that it's not legal for competition racing. So that bottle weighs 15 pounds, and the bottle on the left is the new aluminum bottle. So you can see a little bit of the difference in the size of them. They have 4 liters of AFFF foam in them, so it's foam and water, so it's not going to eat. It's not corrosive, easy to wipe up, and the aluminum bottle is about 2 pounds lighter. So I thought, well, I'll use that one. It was cheaper to buy the whole kit than it was to just get a new bottle, and the difference is with the new ones, FireSense came up with a larger diameter tubing. Like this tube there is 10 millimeters, and the rest of them are 8 millimeters, and so that's going to allow more flow if I have to use it. So the kit comes with obviously a bottle. It comes with a 12 foot of tubing. I think that's what it is, about 12 foot of aluminum, and this stuff is really easy to bend and mold any way you want. So to put in the car, it's pretty simple. It comes with two brackets. These are really nice brackets. It's like an aviation style bracket. We use in the aircraft. So they're really good. But I already have mine in the car, so I don't have to use these. Also comes with a couple of stickers. You have to have the e-sticker on the outside of the car so that the corner workers know where it's at. And then these are kind of nice. I didn't have this in the beginning one, but this is foam, and my bottle sits upright because there's not a lot of room in the car to put it where I need it to. So it's right behind the roll cage, and I have it mounted vertically. So I'll put one of those on the bottom when I mount it. But there's not a big difference in the size of the bottles. Maybe an inch or 2 in height, and that's about it. When they're mounted on the floor in a horizontal, they're required to have a submarine stop. So basically, it's kind of like a submarine belt on the race cars. Your seat belts go down and under the seat and behind, so that if you do get in a wreck, you won't slip underneath the belts. If that ever happens. So that's the same thing. So that goes on the end of the bottle, it's strapped down. It fits on that bracket like that. And then the end of the bottle will be on that part right there. So if you stop suddenly, it won't go flying forward. So that's an FIA requirement. They have instructions in there. They have 2 different types of systems. They have the electric one, automatic, electric one that's electrically activated, and mine's a manual one. So with the manual one, you end up with these 2 pull cables, and the end of the cables will go into the bottle. They'll mount like that. They'll come up through that. They'll come up through here, and then you'll have a stop. So when you pull the cable on the outside of the car, it pushes this down and then releases the spray. So, yeah, pretty neat system. With these fittings, they just snap into place. The hoses, it's real simple. So they give you 4 nozzles. You're required to have 2 in the engine bay. Single seat car, I just have one on the inside. I guess it all depends on the regulations, but they also say you should have one on the top of the 8-pillar, I think it is, pointing down, and then another one mid-drift for you. I only have one seat, so I have one nozzle, and when we get down to the race car, I'll show you that. So basically what I'm going to be doing is swapping out the new system, new lines with this system. So the hoses are bigger, the bottle's a little smaller, a little lighter, and the nozzles are bigger. So we'll see the difference in the nozzles. And it's pretty easy to do, easy to snap together. So this system here was $410 and $30 to ship it here to Columbus from Indianapolis. Really nice guys in Indianapolis. They're called SRI Indianapolis, so SRI Indy. And yeah, it's a good system. So we will go down to the race car and start working on taking the existing tubing out and then reinstalling this tubing and this system. Here we are at the car, and this is the current fire suppression system. The mounting is right behind the roll cage. I couldn't put it anywhere else. And it's a good spot to get to and work. Now this is the old tubing. You can see I think it's like an 8mm tubing, and I have it routed back to the back. That goes to the fuel cell, and there's a nozzle that goes back there. And then the other hose or other one, the line runs across through there. It tees off, goes up to this one here. That's the nozzle that shoots on me. I have my own pull cable. There's 2 cables that go to the bottle. And then it routes up into there, which goes out on the right side of the engine, and then over to there for the left side of the engine. So we're gonna take all that out and install the new lines. That's the task for today. First thing I gotta do is I gotta take those nozzles out, that one and this one tucked back in there. We'll take those out first. Like in most things in race cars, nothing seems to go early. Do you notice anything different in these? Yeah. Look at the difference in size. So that means I have to drill out make these holes 4 holes larger. So that's happening now. So the bottle's in. That wasn't that hard because I already had the mounts. I just got to figure out the routing that I want to do, because this larger nozzle goes here and it's got these 2. So I'm going to have one go to the back, and then I will run a line down around like I normally did, and then I'll tee it off here, come up to here and drill this out, make it larger, and then I'll run the second part of the line like this one is, back up to the nozzle on this side, and then across to the nozzle on the far side where you see the light coming through. So a lot of zip ties I gotta take off, but that's gonna work. Just to show you how easy these are to take out. You have this little piece right here, you push that forward, and then they come right out. Put it back on, you snap it in place, and it's not coming out. It's a pretty simple design. And that's how they come apart. So as you can see, I've got the T-fitting in there. Starting to put the plumbing in. I've got that one in. They just snap into place. It's so simple. And then this line, just to give you an idea how easy it is to bend it, that straightens right out. So I just need to get the right length to go to where I'm going. So that's the plan. So far, not bad. All right, we're gonna put this other line in here, just showing you how easy it is to do this. Like I said, the line just goes out. I want it to tuck in tight here. So it's tucking in there. It's coming up. And then it's going to come into here. So I might put a fitting down there, but it looks like I just need to cut it off about right there. So I just use a hacksaw on it. I'm going to blow on the other end and blow out the metal from the other side. That's good. Watch how easy this goes in. That's in. Locked in place. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Yeah, that works. That's how you get it in. I got to run. I got to drill this things out. I got to run 2 more lines to the front. We'll go from there. So I got the line in. It wraps down around the back there. Comes across here, and that's where it tees off. And where it tees off, I'll take it up through here, and then into the nozzle for that. And then the other line will be just like this one here. You can see the difference in the size. This diameter compared to that. And I'll run that up, and then we'll tee it off up there and run it into the engine bay. Fire suppression system's in. Only thing left to do is connect the cables, which I'll do that. Left the parts back up to the house. So I've made one change on this, and I decided in the specifications they want you to have 1 nozzle mid-drift and then 1 nozzle shooting down at you from the roll cage. So I went ahead and installed one of the nozzles up here, and that's not going to move anywhere. I'll make a bracket eventually and attach it up there so that it'll shoot. But I can bend that and shoot. It'll put the AFFF down on me. So it basically just runs down the side of the cage and then into the bottle. I use the foam at the bottom, and the line wraps around, goes up, nozzle fits in there, nice and neat. That's the mid-drift one. Goes up, goes the engine on the one side, and then goes across to the other side. With a bigger line, it's pretty stable, so just had to make the holes a little bigger and put them in. So that's the installation so far. It's almost completely complete, other than the putting the cables in, and I'll finish that up in a bit. So I've put on the lower brackets and the little holders. The cables come up through there, And as you can see, they just tie off with that. And you're just going to make sure you take the slack out. You can test it by pulling the knobs. And it's pretty easy. Just make sure it's tight. And then I'll put some taper on the top because those will puncture your hand if you're going into that. You solder those so that they don't fray. And that's it. So a couple of the things that I wanted to talk about was the mounting. I don't know if you know, so I have these tube going through there, but those are mounted underneath. And I don't know if you've ever used them before, but they're called riv nuts. So what you do is you drill a hole and you insert this riv nut that has threads on the inside of it, and just like a rivet, you have a tool that pulls it tight, and then it leaves the threads in there so that you can thread into there. And the reason is underneath the car I didn't want a bunch of sheet metal screws, sharp ones, sticking out. So everything on the car has those riv nuts on it, and they're flush with the outside, so they're just sticking out the back, so nothing to cut you with. The other thing is that you're required to have the stickers. We showed the stickers in the beginning, and as you can see, they're E's. So there's E, which indicates that there's fire pull nozzle on that one. I have an E marked on the outside of the car. And that's pinstriped on, hand painted. It's not the sticker, because everything on my car is hand painted like they did back in the day. So as you can see, there's a fire bottle. So if they have to go down there and just press it manually, they can do that real easy. They can reach it from here, just go in and squeeze it, set it off. And the other one is out here. We have the electrical cutoff switch outside, and then another one paint on. He actually put SPA is the phone number to Cincinnati on there, which was the group. And there's the outside nozzle, or the pull cable. So that is how you install a fire suppression system in a race car. Hopefully this helps out and make it easy on you.